Welcome back to action from Kyalami's Motorsport Festival and round 2 of the Bridgestone Thunderbikes and sub-10 categories combined. We're on board there with Byron Rothwell rolling up for the start. As we clear the grid, we get ready for those lights to go on and off. It was Lance Isaacs who was untouchable in race number 1. Has anybody done anything to possibly close him down and spoil his day?
Great view of Harry Potgieter's starting position. We wait for the lights to go on and then off. You'll see red lights above the riders. There they are. When they go off, we'll be racing out there on the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. Oh, better start this time around from the guys at the back. First race, I actually thought they were on the warm-up lap, and I think they did as well.
Awesome start there from Calvert, Dave. Look at where he's gone. Straight up the tailpiece of Lance Isaacs, his fellow Cape Townian. As they come down on the braking markers, unfortunately, Morné Potgieter was not able to make it back, and neither was Ferdy Frederick. We wish him all the very best for a speedy recovery after that massive high side coming out of Clubhouse.
Out front, though, it is Lance Isaacs. He's got the Ducati right behind him. Could we see a turnaround in the fortunes of Lance Isaacs? Because he's been dominating the series so much with a win at Zwartkorps and, of course, a win here earlier today at Kyalami.
Pierre Grobler fighting off Laverick. Then you've got Reggie Seal. Agliotti's in the house. Much better start there from Strutty. He's into the top 10 already. Can you believe that on that KTM? The naked bike is throwing it in amongst these guys. The only problem he's going to have today is when you get onto the big straights. There's no protection from the wind whatsoever.
He does have 1290 cc's to help him along the way. So look out for that bike. It's bike number 168. You'll see it's got big handlebars and big number boards on it. But what a great ride from the Ducati rider. He is absolutely flying up that hill. And Lance Isaacs, well, he's pulled out half a second already, hasn't he?
Laverick on the inside for third place, dives through, and Pierre Grobler gets the motor down 1. So he drops to 4th on the ZX10. And into the clutches there of Seal and the 2 Agliotti boys. So good to see both Keith and Jordan having a fantastic start to race number 2. Now they come down towards Crocodiles. And on the braking, it looks like a little bit of changing. Purificati, he's now got his motorcycle sorted out. And it was a little bit of issue with the tyre pressures that he told me about in between. So he's now got those tyre pressures sorted. And they need to be, because it's now getting into the dusk side of the day.
But already I think that maybe Andre Calvert's too far ahead for him to make up that much ground on the brakes as we go into that final turn. Perfect maneuver.
Gets through on Grobler. Purificati up into what is now 4th place on track as they head across the line, completing that first lap. So a little bit of changes that have happened in that first lap, and we've kind of got the usual contenders back at the front, but it's not as close as what it was in race number 1. Landy Sinden.
Landy, yeah. She's just at the back of the field having a good ride. Listen to that bike scream. I just love the sound of those 600 Yamahas.
Lovely, everything she's got across the line, and probably going to be close to the 260 km/h mark by the time they get to Crowthorne on that 600. Now, Strutty is having a bit of a fight, and he's got Spicer all over the back of him. Spicer's had a busy day. He's also been involved in the ZX10Rs, so he's got a little bit of work to do to find a way past on that 1290. And so has Agliotti as he heads up, once again fighting there with Seal. The two of them had an epic battle in race number 1, and they continue here in race 2.
The West Side Honda, good on the brakes. See how steady it is as he puts the front end down into that Leerkorp bend. Then he skirted down the hill. Let's go on board there with Byron Rothwell. He's just behind these guys, so let's see if he can make up any ground as they fly down towards the bottom of this hill.
Sub-10 Class B leader there, Byron Rothwell. There's a change up. Oh, good dive on the inside from Agliotti. Agliotti finds a way through. Couldn't find his golf ball the other day at the golf day, but he can certainly find a line going into Crocodiles. Awesome stuff from him.
What's his handicap?
Golf.
I was going to say KTM, but anyway.
Yeah, well, he's found a way through there.
Got a way through, hasn't he? He's made up another position on the track, so that's fantastic on the RBS Yamaha R1 all the way down from Durban.
Good to see those guys coming up and being part and parcel of this big event. It's one of the biggest events on the calendar is the Motorsport Festival at Kyalami. Lance Isaacs is loving life being here, and you can see just opening up a massive margin now over his fellow Cape Townian. Andre Calvert, though, he's slowing. I'm a bit concerned about how far he's dropped off, because he was really on pace with Lance Isaacs initially, and we're going to have to keep an eye on whether he's going to get to the end of this race.
He might have a problem with that Ducati, because as you say, just look at the lap times. He's dropped off almost a second a lap. Harry Timmerman. That is bike number 13. Lucky number 13 for Harry. We've got an onboard camera on his bike. We might see what he's up to a bit later on in this race.
Lance Isaacs' teammate there, of course, Harry Timmerman, on the second of those super bets. Oh, what a move. Yo, that was huge. I like that kind of maneuvering. And you can see HP was not concerned whatsoever. All of a sudden he had a motorcycle diving up his inside there, and Reino Kruger, and I think there was actually Hashim Amra that went up his inside and showed him the way through Sunset. So I think he'll return the favor if he can get close enough.
A bit of handlebar bashing going on in the Thunderbikes. They're all mates off the track, but on the track, of course, it's a different story.
Hush, what a move there from him. And now closing in on Timmerman. So Harry Timmerman might have to keep his eyes on those rearview mirrors, because I think Hashim Amra wants to come along for the ride, and he wants to be involved in that fight with the second of the Superbets BMWs. As they come out of Leeuwkop, you can see lovely bit of action here between these guys. They're fighting just outside the top 10 there.
There's Rainer Kruger hanging in on 39 just behind them. Back here with Lance Isaacs. Oh, that bike sounds fantastic. As he goes down towards the sunset bend, he'll flick it back into fourth gear, fifth back to fourth, and then he'll be down into the clubhouse. Perfect line from Lance. It'll be good to see some more of the competitive guys coming to play with him in the future rounds of the Bridgestone Thunderbikes as well.
Well, we know that Stoutgat will probably be back on board by the time we get down to Cape Town. And of course, the next round that happens with the Thunderbikes. And we're also looking forward to seeing the return of possibly Alan John Fenter. But Gareth Laverick at this stage, absolutely amazing stuff from him. He's slowly but surely making his way up onto the back end of Calvert. And I think, as I said, Calvert has got a bit of an issue.
The R1 sounding gorgeous as it goes with that big bang motor. Camera doesn't quite pick it up, but it's the best sounding bike on the track.
Yeah, really, a massive grunt that comes out of it. Really nice to hear as well. This is the battle we were looking at a little bit further on. I think Harry Portkita is still in with a bit of a run for his money here. Reino Kruger, Ian Thomas just behind them, but I think Reino Kruger is going to give HP a bit of a run. Here comes Keith Agliotti. Now, Agliotti on the West Side Motorcycles Honda. I didn't expect him to catch Pierre Grobler. He was concerned about the power output of that motorcycle. He had it on the dyno over the week to try and get it sorted out. And it doesn't seem to be phasing that motorcycle at all. And his ability on it seems pretty good.
On board with Keith Agliotti. Here we go on the brakes. Oh, that's from yesterday till tomorrow that he went past on the brakes. Can he hold it though? Well, he can. That was a tremendous move from Keith Agliotti.
I wonder if Pierre's feeling the day. It's a long time in the saddle, especially around this track, now that it's got a little bit of extra maneuvering to be done, and there's lots of acreage to play with too. So he loses out there ever so slightly. Lundy Sinden, much better run from her this time, because she's not going to be lapped, I don't think, this time out. So she definitely found a little bit of extra pace here in Heat 2.
Keith Agliotti. Now he's got Pierre Grobler right behind him. This is a great race. And I don't think that Grobler's going any slower. I'm just looking at the lap times. Keith Agliotti has improved by almost a second from last race to this race. So that's a big improvement from him.
Caught Grobler and pulled away from Seal. So massive. It looks like it's going to be one of his best finishes ever in Thunderbikes. So keep an eye on him in the future as he moves up probably from Class C to Class B.
Oh, there come the checkered.
Last lap stand-up wheelie from Lance Isaacs.
With the wheelie, I thought that'll be the end of the race.
I thought so too.
But definitely wasn't, because we were looking at Dirk Stolz. The next thing we had him, and I'm talking about Lance Isaacs, on the back wheel as he went down towards turn number 1. What a massive wheelie. Great way to entertain the crowd.
Yeah, listen, there's a big crowd still here, so it's great to see these guys putting on a show. A bit of a change up here, as you can see. It looks like Laverick has got through, and unfortunately, Lundy has been caught and passed, so I thought she might just survive on the Milwaukee Yamaha, but being on the 600, it's a big field to fight with. Lance Isaacs has definitely dominated the front end of this race, and the last one. So heading into the next round, there's your championship leader.
Our Superbets will be very happy with that. What a professional setup they've got in the pits as well. Lance does things properly. Right, we're on board with Laverick. Oh, there's a problem. There's a problem. Andre Calvert on the Ducati pulling over. That promotes Laverick up into second position on the track.
Calvert pulling over, that's a massive issue for me with only half a lap to go. Can you believe that? He was looking so good for a second place finish. Cape Town 1 and 2 it would have been, but it's now Laverick and possibly Damien Purificotti who are going to be on the podium with him.
We're waiting for the checkers to come out. There it is. Okay, waiting. Lance Isaacs comes through the final turn with a Superbets, a BMW. Will we see a wheelie? You did it last lap. Of course, he's going to do it one more time, just to make it proper.
Now, this is the real win now. Thanks, Lance. So we get a last lap wheelie and a checkered flag wheelie from Lance Isaacs this time, beating Laverick and Purificotti for the top 3. Agliotti, his best finish on the West Side Motorcycles. Let's catch up with Lance Isaacs.
My Superbets BMW Motorrad S1000RR was definitely on form today. I can't thank my team enough. The guys have done an excellent job, Dean and his dad. They just keep preparing a great motorbike. It's a double that we deserved at Swartkops, but I'll take it. And hopefully now we're leading the championship, and we'll just continue the form from here. I'm looking forward to the next round. We've got some fresh new toys arriving for the bikes for the next race that we've been waiting for a while. But yeah, we look forward to the next one, and thank you to Thunderbikes, Bridgestone, and Extreme Festival for an awesome event.
The Bridgestone Thunderbike series is proudly brought to you by Bridgestone Motorcycle Tyres, Berwick Leathers, and all of the associate sponsors.